What stationery does my child need to bring?
Well, you need the basics to learn well. You need a pen, you need a pencil, you need a ruler, a rubber, a sharpener, a calculator. All of those things, coupled with the determination to never give up and always want to learn well, that will ensure that you will be successful in your learning. Of course, if you come to our summer school on the 26th of July, you will be getting a little gift box from the Michael Carrick Foundation, and you might find all of those things are already in there, along with some other little bits and pieces that I think you'll like.
Do you have lockers in school?
We don't have lockers in school. We have, for a number of reasons. First of all, although our site is very, very beautiful, it is very small. So we really don't have the physical space in school for lockers. And so if we were to get lockers, it would only be a very small amount, and then you'd have to, not everybody would get one. So in the interest of fairness, we do not have lockers in school.
Do we have to buy any books?
You do not have to buy any books at all. When you come to Stretford High School, everything you need for your learning is provided for you. So you do not have to worry about buying anything. You'll get it all.
How do students buy meals in school?
We have a very clever system called Parent Pay. You might have even used it in primary school. And what parents do is they upload money onto the Parent Pay account, and then pupils can use their finger to scan in to their account when they get to the till, very high tech, and that will be able to see how much money they've got on their account, and they can buy things at the touch of a finger, so they don't need to bring cash into school at all.
Are children allowed to bring a phone to school?
Yes. Oh, right. Our rule on phones is very, very simple. You're allowed to bring it in, but if we see it, we will take it off you. So that means that children can bring a phone into school, because we are aware that coming to school, going home from school, it's always handy to have a device to be able to contact home, let them know how you're on your way, etc. But when you get into school, you don't need to have that phone on. So the phone is switched off, and it's in your bag or it's in your pocket, and it stays there all day. So you've no need to take it out. If you take it out, we will take it off you, and you will have to collect it from the office at the end of the day. That rarely happens now. Our pupils really understand that phones do not need to be used during the school day.
Are we allowed access to the leisure centre and gym?
Yes. So our pupils do have access to the gym on site, and they can use that before Trafford Leisure take over at 5 o'clock. So you pupils are allowed to have access, but you can't just turn up. You would have to book in. And of course, there's lots of other sporting activities that are available over in the PE area. And once we're ready to get all of those extracurricular, you can join football, basketball, table tennis, once all of those are back up.
What are the safeguarding policies regarding bullying?
Okay, now every school will have pupils who at times do the wrong thing. So it would be, silly of me to say there is never any bullying in this school. What I can say to you is, if there is ever an occasion where someone is bullied, whether it's in school, whether it's online, whether it's outside in the community, if a pupil is feeling that they're not being treated nicely, there are lots and lots of people that they can tell. And we make sure that all of our pupils know that and feel comfortable doing so. And when we find out if something not nice is happening, we deal with it immediately, we deal with it seriously, we make sure that it is recorded so that if it happens again, we would take an even more serious sanction. But most importantly is that when something happens between children, it needs to, number one, set the expectation, this is not acceptable. Number two, mediate so that there is an opportunity to apologise and forgive. And number three, make sure that it is monitored so that it is not repeated. So that's how we approach bullying in this school.
What support is available to vulnerable or anxious students?
Well, you know, it's been very tough times, and we've all struggled, adults and children. But we have had, even before this time, a really strong pastoral support in this school. So every year group will have a head of year, an assistant head of year, and a form tutor, and they stay with that year group from year 7 to year 11. They're like a family. And so any pupil who is anxious or has any worry or any concern, they've got their pastoral team, their form tutor, their head of year, their assistant head of year to go and speak to in the first instance. Well, we also have an area in the school called the Hub, and in the Hub we have some wonderful people who are trained in mental health and well-being, trained in counselling, and they help people who are feeling a little bit more vulnerable, who are feeling a little bit more anxious, who might need somebody to talk to, who might need some one-to-one sessions, and they are on site and they are available every single day for pupils when they need them.
What do you offer to a child with an E.H.C plan?
Well, first of all, any child with an E.H.C plan has the opportunity to learn to the best of their potential with the support of their teachers and support staff in this school. And we make sure that we know that child really well, that we know what helps them best to learn, that we know what helps them to feel safe and feel comfortable, and that we support them in being ambitious for their learning. And that can take a number of ways. It can be from the teacher differentiating work in class. It can be from teaching assistants being in class to work alongside the child. It can be in having short bespoke interventions where the child might come out of lessons for a short period of time and do one-to-one sessions, or small group sessions with a member of staff. And really it depends on the child. Whatever that child needs to be successful and feel successful, we put that in place.
Okay. What is the pastoral structure compared to a primary school?
So, in a high school, you will have 8 forms, so 8 groups of children. And obviously that feels so much bigger to many primary schools. That each year group would have 8 groups of up to 25 children. So structurally you have your form tutor, and you meet your form tutor every day in the morning. And then you would have in charge of that year group a head of year and an assistant head of year, and their whole job is to look after their year group. It's like a little mini school for them, to make sure that every child in their year group is able to learn well, feels well, feels safe, and that if there's any problems, they are there to look after them. So actually, while it can be scary in that secondary schools are so much bigger than primary schools, we have a lot of people who are absolutely dedicated to making sure that the children in their year group are really well looked after.
What is the ethnic mix of your school?
Do you know what? we are so fortunate because we live in a totally multicultural, diverse community, and our school community completely reflects that. We are blessed to have so many cultures that we can celebrate and learn from each other within our school. So there is no dominant culture or ethnicity in this school. We are completely diverse.
How transparent is the teacher-parent-carer relationship?
The relationship between parent or carer, school and child is absolutely key for the child's success, for that child being successful and feeling successful. Really, really important. So it's really important that we always work alongside parents and carers, and that our communication is as good as we can make it. And so in order for that to happen, we use letters, we use phone calls, we use emails, we use texts, we have Parent Pay, we use the MyEd app. All of that is to ease communication so that parents and carers can communicate with us in a way that they feel comfortable, and in a way in which we can share information that is important about the child. And that's not to say that we think there's always room for improvement, and in fact we're working at the moment on having a parental communication award, and we would love parents to get involved in that. Miss Eggleton and Mr. Maloney were working on that, so I'm sure they will be contacting you in the very near future once you join us, so you can get involved in making our relationship even stronger.